1 Corinthians 10. Moreover, brethren, I do not want you to be unaware that all our fathers were under the cloud, all passed through the sea. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea. All were baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. All ate the same spiritual food. And did all eat the same spiritual meat. And all drank the same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. But with most of them God was not well pleased, for their bodies were scattered in the wilderness. But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things became our examples, to the intent that we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. And do not become idolaters as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Nor let us commit sexual immorality, as some of them did, and in one day 23,000 fell. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. Nor let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed by serpents. Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Nor complain, as some of them also complained, and were destroyed by the destroyer. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happened to them as examples, and they were written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the ages have come. Now all these things happened unto them for ensamples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Therefore let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. Wherefore let him that think he standeth take heed lest he fall. No temptation has overtaken you except such as is common to man, but God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, but with the temptation will also make the way of escape, that you may be able to bear it. There hath no temptation taken you but such as is common to man, but God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Therefore, my beloved, flee from idolatry. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak as to wise men, judge for yourselves what I say. I speak as to wise men, judge ye what I say. The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not the communion of the blood of Christ? The bread which we break, is it not the communion of the body of Christ? The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not the communion of the blood of Christ? The bread which we break, is it not the communion of the body of Christ? For we, though many, are one bread and one body, for we all partake of that one bread. For we being many are one bread, and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread. Observe Israel after the flesh, are not those who eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? Behold Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What am I saying then? That an idol is anything, or what is offered to idols is anything. What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything? Rather, that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice they sacrifice to demons and not to God, and I do not want you to have fellowship with demons. But I say, that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to God, and I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons, you cannot partake of the Lord's table and of the table of demons. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord, and the cup of devils, ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table, and of the table of devils. Or do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? All things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful, all things are lawful for me, but not all things edify. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient, all things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Let no one seek his own, but each one the other's well-being. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. Eat whatever is sold in the meat market, asking no questions for conscience sake. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's, and all its fullness. For the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. If any of those who do not believe invite you to dinner, and you desire to go, eat whatever is set before you, asking no question for conscience sake. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake. But if anyone says to you, this was offered to idols, do not eat it for the sake of the one who told you, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's, and all its fullness. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that shoot it, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. Conscience, I say, not your own, but that of the other. For why is my liberty judged by another man's conscience? Conscience, I say, not thine own, but of the other, for why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? But if I partake with thanks, why am I evil spoken of for the food over which I give thanks? For if I by grace be a partaker, why am I evil spoken of for that for which I give thanks? Therefore, whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. Whether therefore ye eat, or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. Give no offense either to the Jews or to the Greeks or to the church of God. Give none offense, neither to the Jews, nor to the Gentiles, nor to the church of God. Just as I also please all men in all things, not seeking my own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. Even as I please all men in all things, not seeking mine own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. 1 Corinthians 9. Am I not an apostle? Am I not free? Have I not seen Jesus Christ our Lord? Are you not my work in the Lord? Am I not an apostle? Am I not free? Have I not seen Jesus Christ our Lord? Are not ye my work in the Lord? If I am not an apostle to others, yet doubtless I am to you. For you are the seal of my apostleship in the Lord. If I be not an apostle unto others, yet doubtless I am to you, for the seal of mine apostleship are ye in the Lord. My defense to those who examine me is this. Mine answer to them that do examine me is this. Do we have no right to eat and drink? Have we not power to eat and to drink? Do we have no right to take along a believing wife, as do also the other apostles, the brothers of the Lord, and Cephas? Have we not power to lead about a sister, a wife, as well as other apostles, and as the brethren of the Lord, and Cephas? Or is it only Barnabas and I who have no right to refrain from working? Were I only and Barnabas, have not we power to forbear working? Whoever goes to war at his own expense? Who plants a vineyard and does not eat of its fruit? Or who tends a flock and does not drink of the milk of the flock? Who goeth a warfare any time at his own charges? Who planteth a vineyard, and eateth not of the fruit thereof? Or who feedeth a flock, and eateth not of the milk of the flock? Do I say these things as a mere man? Or does not the law say the same also? Say I these things as a man? Or saith not the law the same also? For it is written in the law of Moses, you shall not muzzle an ox while it treads out the grain. Is it oxen God is concerned about? For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that treadeth out the corn. Doth God take care for oxen? Or does he say it altogether for our sakes? For our sakes, no doubt, this is written, that he who ploughs should plough in hope, and he who threshes in hope should be partaker of his hope. Or saith he it altogether for our sakes? For our sakes, no doubt, this is written, that he that plougheth should plough in hope, and that he that thresheth in hope should be partaker of his hope. If we have sown spiritual things for you, is it a great thing if we reap your material things? If we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things? If others are partakers of this right over you, are we not even more? Nevertheless we have not used this right, but endure all things lest we hinder the gospel of Christ. If others be partakers of this power over you, are not we rather? Nevertheless we have not used this power, but suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of Christ. Do you not know that those who minister the holy things eat of the things of the temple, and those who serve at the altar partake of the offerings of the altar? Do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple? And they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar? Even so the Lord has commanded that those who preach the gospel should live from the gospel. Even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. But I have used none of these things, nor have I written these things that it should be done so to me, for it would be better for me to die than that anyone should make my boasting void. But I have used none of these things, neither have I written these things, that it should be so done unto me, for it were better for me to die, than that any man should make my glorying void. For if I preach the gospel, I have nothing to boast of, for necessity is laid upon me, yes, woe is me if I do not preach the gospel. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me, yea, woe is unto me, if I preach not the gospel. For if I do this willingly, I have a reward, but if against my will, I have been entrusted with a stewardship. For if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward, but if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. What is my reward then? That when I preach the gospel, I may present the gospel of Christ without charge, that I may not abuse my authority in the gospel. What is my reward then? Verily that, when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Christ without charge, that I abuse not my power in the gospel. For though I am free from all men, I have made myself a servant to all, that I might win the more. For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. And to the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might win Jews, to those who are under the law, as under the law, that I might win those who are under the law. And unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews, to them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. To those who are without law, as without law, not being without law toward God, but under law toward Christ, that I might win those who are without law. To them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to God, but under the law to Christ, that I might gain them that are without law. To the weak I became as weak, that I might win the weak. I have become all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. Now this I do for the gospel's sake, that I may be partaker of it with you. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you. Do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may obtain it. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run, that ye may obtain. And everyone who competes for the prize is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a perishable crown, but we for an imperishable crown. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. Therefore I run thus, not with uncertainty. Thus I fight, not as one who beats the air. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. But I discipline my body and bring it into subjection, lest, when I have preached to others, I myself should become disqualified. But I keep under my body, and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Isaiah5. Now let me sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved regarding his vineyard. My well-beloved has a vineyard on a very fruitful hill. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. He dug it up and cleared out its stones, and planted it with the choicest vine. He built a tower in its midst, and also made a winepress in it, so he expected it to bring forth good grapes, but it brought forth wild grapes. And he fenced it, and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein, and he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, please, between me and my vineyard. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What more could have been done to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Why then, when I expected it to bring forth good grapes, did it bring forth wild grapes? What could have been done more to my vineyard, that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes? And now, please let me tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away its hedge, and it shall be burned, and break down its wall, and it shall be trampled down. And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. I will lay it waste, it shall not be pruned or dug, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain on it. And I will lay it waste, it shall not be pruned, nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah are his pleasant plant. He looked for justice, but behold, oppression, for righteousness, but behold, a cry for help. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant, and he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. Woe to those who join house to house, they add field to field, till there is no place where they may dwell alone in the midst of the land. Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. In my hearing the Lord of hosts said, Truly, many houses shall be desolate, great and beautiful ones, without inhabitant. In mine ears said the Lord of hosts, Of a truth many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair, without inhabitant. For 10 acres of vineyard shall yield 1 bath, and a homer of seed shall yield 1 ephah. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield 1 bath, and the seed of an homer shall yield an ephah. Woe to those who rise early in the morning, that they may follow intoxicating drink, who continue until night, till wine inflames them. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, till wine inflame them. The harp and the strings, the tambourine and flute, and wine are in their feasts, but they do not regard the work of the Lord, nor consider the operation of his hands. And the harp, and the viol, the tabret, and pipe, and wine, are in their feasts, but they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands. Therefore my people have gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore Sheol has enlarged itself and opened its mouth beyond measure, their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he who is jubilant, shall descend into it. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth, shall descend into it. People shall be brought down, each man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. And the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and God who is holy shall be hallowed in righteousness. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. Then the lambs shall feed in their pasture, and in the waste places of the fat ones strangers shall eat. Then shall the lambs feed after their manner, and the waste places of the fat ones shall strangers eat. Woe to those who draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as if with a cart rope. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as it were with a cart rope. That say, Let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw near and come, that we may know it. That say, Let him make speed, and hasten his work, that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it. Woe to those who call evil good, and good evil, who put darkness for light, and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes, and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes, and prudent in their own sight. Woe to men mighty at drinking wine, woe to men valiant for mixing intoxicating drink. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink. Who justify the wicked for a bribe, and take away justice from the righteous man. Which justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devours the stubble, and the flame consumes the chaff, so their root will be as rottenness, and their blossom will ascend like dust, because they have rejected the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore the anger of the Lord is aroused against his people, he has stretched out his hand against them and stricken them, and the hills trembled. Their carcasses were as refuse in the midst of the streets. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Therefore is the anger of the Lord kindled against his people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and hath smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. He will lift up a banner to the nations from afar, and will whistle to them from the end of the earth, surely they shall come with speed, swiftly. And he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth, and, behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. No one will be weary or stumble among them, no one will slumber or sleep, nor will the belt on their loins be loosed, nor the strap of their sandals be broken. None shall be weary nor stumble among them, none shall slumber nor sleep, neither shall the girdle of their loins be loosed, nor the latchet of their shoes be broken. Whose arrows are sharp, and all their bows bent, their horses' hooves will seem like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. Whose arrows are sharp, and all their bows bent, their horses' hoofs shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. Their roaring will be like a lion, they will roar like young lions, yes, they will roar and lay hold of the prey, they will carry it away safely, and no one will deliver. Their roaring shall be like a lion, they shall roar like young lions, they shall roar, and lay hold of the prey, and shall carry it away safe, and none shall deliver it. In that day they will roar against them like the roaring of the sea. And if one looks to the land, behold, darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened by the clouds. And in that day they shall roar against them like the roaring of the sea, and if one look unto the land, behold darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof. Isaiah 6. In the year that King Isaiah died, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. In the year that King Isaiah died I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood seraphim, each one had 6 wings, with 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. Above it stood the seraphims, each one had 6 wings, with 2 he covered his face, and with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he did fly. And one cried to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts, the whole earth is full of his glory. And one cried unto another, and said, Holy, 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 is the Lord of hosts, the whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door were shaken by the voice of him who cried out, and the house was filled with smoke. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. So I said, Woe is me, for I am undone. Because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips, for my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then said I, Woe is me! For I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips, for mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then one of the seraphim flew to me, having in his hand a live coal which he had taken with the tongs from the altar. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar. And he touched my mouth with it, and said, Behold, this has touched your lips, your iniquity is taken away, and your sin purged. And he laid it upon my mouth, and said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. Also I heard the voice of the Lord, saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then I said, Here am I. Send me. Also I heard the voice of the Lord, saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me. And he said, Go, and tell this people, keep on hearing, but do not understand, keep on seeing, but do not perceive. And he said, Go, and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people dull, and their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and return and be healed. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed. Then I said, Lord, how long? And he answered, Until the cities are laid waste and without inhabitant, the houses are without a man, the land is utterly desolate. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, Until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. The Lord has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many in the midst of the land. And the Lord have removed men far away, and there be a great forsaking in the midst of the land. But yet a tenth will be in it, and will return and be for consuming, as a terebinth tree or as an oak, whose stump remains when it is cut down. So the holy seed shall be its stump. But yet in it shall be a tenth, and it shall return, and shall be eaten, as a teil tree, and as an oak, whose substance is in them, when they cast their leaves, so the holy seed shall be the substance thereof. Psalms 62. Truly my soul silently waits for God, from him comes my salvation. To the chief musician, to Jeduthun, a psalm of David. Truly my soul waiteth upon God, from him cometh my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation, he is my defense, I shall not be greatly moved. He only is my rock and my salvation, he is my defense, I shall not be greatly moved. How long will you attack a man? You shall be slain, all of you, like a leaning wall and a tottering fence. How long will ye imagine mischief against a man? Ye shall be slain all of you, as a bowing wall shall ye be, and as a tottering fence. They only consult to cast him down from his high position, they delight in lies, they bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Selah. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency, they delight in lies, they bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Selah. My soul, wait silently for God alone, for my expectation is from him. My soul, wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation, he is my defense, I shall not be moved. He only is my rock and my salvation, he is my defense, I shall not be moved. In God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in God. In God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in God. Trust in him at all times, you people, pour out your heart before him, God is a refuge for us. Selah. Trust in him at all times, ye people, pour out your heart before him, God is a refuge for us. Selah. Surely men of low degree are a vapor, men of high degree are a lie, if they are weighed on the scales, they are altogether lighter than vapor. Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie, to be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. Do not trust in oppression, nor vainly hope in robbery, if riches increase, do not set your heart on them. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery, if riches increase, set not your heart upon them. God has spoken once, twice I have heard this, that power belongs to God. God hath spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto God. Also to you, O Lord, belongs mercy, for you render to each one according to his work. Also unto thee, O Lord, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work.